Hey guys, it's the one, the only, the one you don't like, the one you don't know, but it's me, Samzilla33, and today we're going to do the 13th episode of Mix Up. And if you can't tell, this is a title card. Obviously, if you're blind, this is actually drawn by my wonderful sister, so thank you. She's a great artist and she drew this as a title card for me, so thanks for that. And I also have a Pikachu hat, which I got for my birthday, which was actually a while ago, but my friends haven't got me presents until recently, so that's why I'm wearing it now. Isn't that awesome? But anyway, we're here for Mix Up, and today we're going to be doing the last edition, at least for now, of Let's Mix It Up. And if you couldn't tell, it's ZPST, which is one of the fastest decks in our format right now. It's not exactly great anymore. It used to be actually a very fantastic deck. If you do not remember, definitely one of the best decks in the format when Merging Powers came out. Wasn't exactly the best deck in the format once Null Victories, because then Magazone and Electric was like, hey, no, I'm the best deck in the format. You don't be taking my spot. Well, you dare be doing that, because Magazone and Electric is a fantastic deck. But anyway, this is the fastest deck in the format if you don't know how the strategy works. You use Patrice's power, which is to play him on the field. You attach 2 energies to him with his effect. And then you use Shaman to move those energies to Zekrom or Tornadus and do a turn 1 120 or turn 1 180, which was amazing back then. Now we got, you know, CMT with like, oh, let's do 80 damage on the first turn and then let's do 10 billion on the next turn and blah 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 blah. No, this was the original Donk deck. It's kind of died out since Patrice and Shaman aren't exactly the best way of accelerating your Pokemon anymore. Electric and Celebi and Reshiram, Emboar and Typhlosion are highly better ways of accelerating. This is kind of clunky and is really, only great on the first turn, but still is a decent deck. And today we're going to be looking at some ways to get it a little heavier, hitting a little heavier. The first one is actually from our newest set, Next Destinies, but it won't be a newest set for long because Oxforce is coming around soon. And that card is Zekrom EX. Now, obviously Zekrom is in his own deck, Zekrom EX Electric, which is now the best deck in format, but with this card you can actually do first turn 150, which ZPST and the original ZPST and CMT just wish they could even do half of that, which they can. So that statement was kind of stupid, but still, you can do 150 on the first turn. Patrice and Shaman to get 2 lightning, and then double Carlos. Strong Volt for 150 on the first turn. That's plenty to knock out any Zekroms or Reshirams or basically anything in the format that isn't another EX. And that's probably the only problem that it doesn't have. But after you get that first turn hit, then I think it's time to move over to other attackers, because it's hard to keep accelerating Zekrom EX with Patrice and Shaman just because they can't reliably do it. They can really only do it once in the early game and then a couple times later in the game when you really need it. But either way, 150 damage in the first turn is nothing to slouch at, and maybe you could add Patrice and Shaman into your Zekrom EX Electric deck for the first turn attack to take out anything. Because Zekrom EX Electric is not exactly the fastest deck, obviously, since even stage 1s nowadays aren't that fast. But Zekrom and Patrice and Shaman, you can definitely get a fast, a very fast method, and try some different combinations. You can definitely get some interesting things going. Another one is also from Next Destinies, and it is Zapdos. Zapdos has some of the some of the pros of Zekrom EX, but mix a couple of them better. Again, with Patrice and Shaman and then double Carlos, you can set him up on the first turn. And if you don't know what his attack does, he has Thundering Hurricane, which you flip 4 coins, and for each hit it does 50 damage, so on average that's 100 damage, which is better than Tornadus, and not quite as good as either Zekrom, but it is also much more consistent than the Zekroms, because you can keep using it every turn. And maybe if you add Victini, flip Teeny in your deck to consistently get good flips, you can almost always get 2 or 3 or 100 to 150 damage each turn with Victini. So Zapdos could actually be like maybe one card tech into ZPST. could also be decent. Well, I was going to say it could be a decent fighting counter, but Tornadus is already a pretty good fighting counter anyway. So, but it can also kill Tracheon in one hit, pretty reliably, and not ridiculously reliably, but decently reliably. So definitely look out for Zapdos. He could be pretty difficult card to deal with in ZPST. Now, which is most likely the last card of the day, and which has actually been around longer than Zekrom, Tornadus, or Zekrom EX, or even Patrice and Shame at all, and that is Raikou and Suicune Legend. You might be thinking, what? A legend card? Those don't exist, Sam. You know, you can't use those in a deck unless it's across the Deoxys Legends and it was last World Championships. You can't use them anymore. They are too slow. They're not good, and all of them suck, except for Cross Deoxys Legend, which still doesn't use that much today. They're just awful. You can't use them. Out of the question, no. But Raikou and Suicune Legend is actually almost It's almost a precursor to Zekrom. If you look at its attack, Thunderbolt Spear, it's an interesting name when I think about it. Thunderbolt Spear, it's almost identical to Bolt Strike, except it's a little better. And for the same cost, it does 150 damage. You can't read it because it's upside down, but yeah, that's what it says. It says 150 damage and it takes 50 damage, which is basically the same exact attack as Bolt Strike, but it's much more powerful and you take a little bit more damage. But in the end, you end up with more HP either way because he has more HP. So it's not as big as a problem. But you take 2 prizes when you knock out a legend, just like EX's, but worse. But it's also hard to get the first turn attack because, you know, if he's a legend, you can't start with it. Because then you see like a 2-card thing in the active, you're like, oh wait, they're using legend. Awkward. But maybe if you start out with Patricio Shaman and then play a Sky or a Bridge, and then retreat, and then like Seeker scoop up that one, and then use the other one and do all the combo stuff, you could definitely get another 150 first turn attack, consistently do it, and then maybe have something to heal it. I don't know what you could heal with. Maybe you could play Shaman, move them to a different Pokemon, then use Max Potion, heal it all the way, heal them, and then play another Shaman and move it away or something. Or I guess also, what was it? I just forgot what I was about to say. You could also just retreat him and then use like Seeker or Super Scoop Up or something. If you don't have to retreat him if you're using Super Scoop Up to get all that damage off. And he is weak to Lightning and Fighting, which are probably the 2 worst weaknesses right now. Because Track can kill you in 1 hit for 2 prizes, and Zekrom EX can kill you in 1 hit with 2 prizes. Even with a Glinting Claw and you haven't damaged yourself. But still, 150 damage is nothing to slouch at, and these 3 Pokemon are definitely very good at dealing 150 damage pretty early in the game. That's what ZPST is meant to do. Super fast damage and super quickly. It's still probably faster than CMT because it builds up more energy on the first turn, but just not quite as reliable in the later games. It's the main problem with it nowadays. So I hope you enjoyed April, and I hope you enjoyed Let's Mix It Up, because I certainly did. It was definitely fun working on these and just thinking of new ideas, because that's what I like to do. I like to think of new ideas. So next week we'll probably be looking at Dark Explorers, because the pre-releases are coming very soon, and we should be getting the scans soon. So that's going to be super exciting. I'm really excited for Dark Explorers. Tons of great cards already confirmed, and there's just tons more ready to be confirmed. There's at least 20 more or something they need to confirm. And most ones they have confirmed. Some of them, some of them are kind of boring. Like they've confirmed like Torchic and Cyndaquil, with the Blaziken hasn't showed the scan yet, but I know it does. It's pretty good. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys for the next Dark Explorers analysis. Thanks for watching this April special, and hope to see you guys in the future for more Mix Up and maybe more Let's Mix It Ups. And hope you all enjoyed my sister's awesome title card. Later. And also, Pikachu hat. That's the most important thing. That you like the Pikachu hat. Title card's cool too, but no. This hat is awesome. Later.